Hello, welcome. Am I audible? Please, can anyone please confirm in the comments whether I am audible or not? Hmm. Yes, sir. So, start करें. Surprise? Why are you surprised? What is so surprising here? 2 दिन में एक क्लास होने थे? क्या बोल रहे हो यार? 120 क्वेश्चन है. 2 दिन में 120 क्वेश्चन कवर करना है ना? ठीक है फिर चलते हैं. Hello everyone, welcome to the part 2 of this soil science most expected question series paper 2. जिसका next 60 questions we'll discuss today. Yesterday we discussed 60. From today it will be 61 to 120. So you will find many assertion and reason questions and also many statement based questions as well as match the followings. So today's session will be the standard would be a bit higher than what was yesterday's. So I think it would be a great session. Let's see. We don't have much time, so we will start it right away. I would expect your active participation, and I hope I'm audible and everything is clear. So let's start with question number 61. So we are starting with nitrogen today. Nitrogen comes under fertility, and fertility is also one of the most important sections that fetches at least 20 to 25, sometimes maybe 28 questions in one paper. While I was doing the analysis of the PYQs, I have seen that. So without wasting much time, tell me first, these are the examples of NSERV, AM, DCD, ATC are the examples of slow release nitrogen fertilizer, nitrification inhibitor, urease inhibitor, phosphatic fertilizer. I can see answer B. Yes, you are definitely correct. We don't have to waste much time here. Yes, so this has been taken from new ISSS. As you know, ISSS is like the holy book for all soil science students. So here you can see all the examples. These examples are very important. Nitropyrin, AM, then diamide, that is DCD, and ATC. So you have to remember the examples of nitrification inhibitors and also the examples of urease inhibitors. These two are these two sections of compounds are most important and they are used widely in the practical field agriculture. I also did that in my MSc work. So, you know, a lot of work is going on these two compounds and various combinations of these compounds to find out. So I don't think the mechanism and all of these are necessary at this level because exam is knocking at the door and it is not of JRF level, but you should remember the examples positively. All right. Going on to the next question. This is a question from erosion. Which type of erosion is characterized by the following features? They have given you 4 features and out of the 4 you have to identify which erosion is this. So it is an advanced stage of real erosion. The first statement only gives away the answer, the keywords that cannot be obliterated by normal tillage. This also gives in the answer. I don't think reading 2, 3, 4 is necessary, but still we will read the options. Reels more than 30 centimeter in depth, responsible for the removal of vast amounts of soil and more noticeable than any other erosion. I think the first point is more than enough. So the answer would be, I can see, yes, Gali. Sir, most common erosion is reel or sheet. See, there is controversy regarding this. In many places, I have seen it is as reel, but somewhere you can see as sheet also. Sheet is actually not noticeable by the farmers, so I think it is less reported, you know. So probably reel is the most common form of erosion because if you go in the fields and if you see, you can see small channels of water flowing away with the soil. So I think it is reel erosion, but I cannot say for sure. In many places I have seen. This is a controversial question. So given below are the two statements, assertion and reason. यहाँ से जो assertion reason शुरू हुआ, अब it will continue, right? Grasses are the best friend of soil conservationist. Statement 1. Low and evenly distributed canopy and fibrous root system with much soil binding capacity makes grasses highly effective in controlling soil erosion. This is a very easy question. I don't think there is anything to explain or anything to say. This is a normal English question, you can say. So I can see option A. Where are the other answers? Option A, option A, option A. Yes, nothing to worry about here. It is definitely option A. Grasses are the best friends of the soil conservationist. Why? This is the answer. So A is correct, R is correct, and both are related also. All right, moving on. A is equal to RKLSCP equation is given by. This is also a very common question of soil erosion topic, and this is very important also. You should know the name and also you should know the year also. Can anyone tell me the year? I know all of you know it is Wishmeyer and Smith. Tell me the year. In which year they gave? And what is the name of this equation? Name of this equation and the year in which it was given. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Anyone, anyone? 1978, perfect. You are in a very good track, I must say. What is the name of the equation? Soil erosion is not the name of the equation. There is a name of the equation. It is called Universal Soil Loss Equation, USLE, right? USLE, Universal Soil Loss Equation. In the old ISSS, I have taken this picture from old ISSS. So the Universal Soil Loss Equation, USLE, is presented by Wishmeyer and Smith, 1978. The year is also important. So I think you should know it. And here RKLSCP, I don't think there is any need for explaining the terms. Here you can easily see what the terms mean. You can read it from ISSS also, and when you will get this PPT, you can read it from here also. But one thing you should remember, you should know these values. For ideal soil erosion plot, what should be the values? 22 meter long, 9% slope, and these things you should remember. All right. Given below are two statements. Again, a statement type question. Let's see. Bray distinguished between root surface sorption zone and root system. It won't be surface, it would be sorption. All right. Sorry for the typing mistake. He postulated amount of mobile nutrient availability depends on root system sorption zone. He postulated amount of mobile nutrient availability depends on root system sorption zone. I think answer अभी तक आ जाना चाहिए. क्यों नहीं आया? What is the answer? Root surface sorption zone and root system sorption zone. Bray distinguished between these two, and he postulated that the amount of mobile nutrient availability depends on root system sorption zone and not the root surface sorption zone. तो इसका आंसर क्या है? इसका आंसर सी बोल रहे हो? B. Both are incorrect. And you are saying statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Why? Statement 2 is incorrect. No, statement 2 is not incorrect. Bray distinguished between the root system sorption zone and root surface sorption zone, right? Root system sorption zone and root surface sorption zone. He postulated that the mobile nutrients depend on the total amount available in the soil. That is the root system sorption zone. I think you have a problem in understanding here. Don't worry, I will try my best to make you understand. This is a plant. These are the roots. All right. This is a plant. These are the roots. This whole portion is called root system sorption zone. All right. This whole portion is root system sorption zone, and these roots and their surface, these surfaces are called root surface sorption zone. All right. ये जो छोटा सा पार्ट है, एक जो रूट हेयर है, उस रूट हेयर के आसपास जो पार्ट है, दैट इज कॉल्ड रूट सरफेस सॉर्प्शन जोन. एंड दिस होल रूट सिस्टम का जो वॉल्यूम है, दैट इज कॉल्ड रूट सिस्टम सॉर्प्शन जोन. दो टाइप का न्यूट्रिएंट है, वन इज मोबाइल, वन इज इमोबाइल, राइट? मोबाइल का मतलब which can move, immobile का मतलब which can move very slowly. अब is it not common sense जो यहाँ पे बोल रहा है कि अमाउंट ऑफ मोबाइल न्यूट्रिएंट अवेलेबिलिटी डिपेंड्स ऑन रूट सिस्टम शॉर्प्शन जोन. ये पूरा रूट सिस्टम के अंदर जो न्यूट्रिएंट आ गया वो अगर मोबाइल नहीं हुआ, सो हाउ कैन इट ट्रेवल टू द रूट सरफेस? Ultimately the absorption takes place through the roots. So if the nutrient is mobile, then only it can travel from the system to the root surface, right? If it was immobile nutrient के केस में it should have been in the surface sorption zone only, otherwise उसका absorption नहीं होगा. Am I clear? If there is immobile nutrient जिसका absorption होना है, उसको वो अगर surface sorption zone में नहीं आया, so it cannot go, because if it is present here, say an immobile nutrient is present here, उसको यहाँ पे travel करते करते आके root surface तक आना, that is very, it will take a huge time, तो उसका absorption नहीं होगा. So if it is in the system में है और उसका absorption होना है, so that should be mobile. और अगर surface में है और उसका absorption होना है, that should be immobile. So are you clear now? Tell me. This is very heartbreaking to see. Go and take the old ICCS book, वहां पे मिनरल न्यूट्रिशन चैप्टर में जहां पे ये है ब्रे का जो पोस्टुलेशन, उसके बाद में देखना there is one figure, the figure that I drew, वहां पे it is mentioned like this, this is the root system sorption zone and this is the root surface sorption zone. So read that part very carefully. It has been explained there also, and I tried my best to explain, make you understand. Let's move on. The tendency of some crops to absorb and accumulate a nutrient in excess of their needs, जितना चाहिए उससे ज़्यादा, when present in sufficiently large quantities in the soil, is called what? And which nutrient is related to this tendency? This is a very easy question. I don't think there is any, already I can see one answer. So इसमें तो कुछ बोलना नहीं है यार. Exam is in 1 month. I don't think. Yes, all of you are correct. This is also called luxury consumption. Every agriculture student knows this. There is nothing new. So some crops tend to absorb and accumulate potassium. Potassium is the nutrient in excess of their needs if it is present in sufficiently large quantities in the soil. This tendency is termed as luxury consumption. Why? ये जानना जरूरी है. Why? Because the excess K absorbed does not increase crop yield to any appreciable extent. Wasteful luxury consumption occurs especially with forage crops. So इसका ज्यादा absorption होने से toxicity भी नहीं हो रहा है, yield भी नहीं बढ़ रहा है. So that is a luxury consumption. Moving on, which of the following minerals contain zinc? Which of the following minerals contain zinc? ऐसे question तो आएगा ही आएगा. Be very sure this kind of questions has already come in your JRF, all right? And आजकल का जो pattern है उसमें they will ask like this only. They will not ask directly कि sphalerite में zinc है कि नहीं बताओ. No, they will ask. They will give the name of this 5 and they will ask इसमें से कौन-कौन से में zinc है. All right? So tell me which are the zinc containing minerals? Option C, option C, option C. 1 and 2 only. Sphalerite and smithsonite. Covellite, pyrolusite, carnite नहीं है because pyrolusite is manganese. So again, I always put my emphasis on the tables of ICCS. This is also taken from old ICCS micronutrients chapter. This table you should definitely remember. सारा mineral अगर याद ना भी हो, at least the most important 2 or the most important 3 you should definitely remember of all the nutrients, not only zinc. Maximum question comes from zinc, from molybdenum, all right, from copper. These 3 are the most asked nutrients in the exam. So ये जो table है इसको बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ना ही है, all right? This is very, very important. Given below are 2 statements. Again, statement type question. Zinc is the most deficient micronutrient in Indian soils. DTPA test of Lindsay and Norvell. इसका भी यार अगर कोई बता सकता है तो I will be very impressed. Is widely used to assess the status of available micronutrient cations, that is Zn, Cu, Fe, Mn and nickel in the soil. So, in light of the above, tell me what is the answer? Option C. Both statements are correct. Any other answer? Option A. Please read the options correctly. Option A में both correct नहीं है. Both correct अगर बोलना चाह रहे हो तो it is in option C here. है ना? our question setter has done some. So yes, of course you are correct. It is both statements are correct. Here I have taken specifically this photograph because you should understand this photograph and go and read in old ISSS. It is there in the micronutrients chapter only, where it says the principle of this DTPA extraction test, where Lindsay and Norvell use DTPA which mimics the plant. Plant का जो root है वो जिस तरफ से nutrient लेता है, this DTPA is what? DTPA is a chelating agent that also binds the nutrients. See, here it is written DTPA metal complex that also binds the nutrients which mimics the plant root system. इसके वजह से we can make the estimation accurately. Here you can see it is written labile metals on soil solid phase, desorption, free metal ions in solution जब आ गया तो इधर जैसे प्लांट रूट में चला जाता है वैसे ही डिप्लीशन इन फ्री मेटल आयन एक्टिविटी ड्यू टू फॉर्मेशन ऑफ metal DTPA complex. So once there is depletion of the activity in the solution pool, तो soil के अंदर जो whatever is present in the soil in exchangeable form that will come into the solution pool. Like, right? We know the equilibrium theory. So just to mimic the plant, we use DTPA. This part is extremely important. Please be very thorough with it. I have seen many questions in PYQs. 2024 में आया था. They have asked the composition of the DTPA test. कितना मोलर DTPA, कितना मोलर TEA and कितना मोलर CaCl2. उस सारा compounds का you should know the principle as well. Why DTPA is used, why CaCl2 is used, why TEA is used. All this is very greatly written in old ISSS, that green book. Open it and read this portion very thoroughly. DTPA is extremely important. You should remember all the values, all the molarities, all the normalities, and also the principle, why they are used. All right, moving on. Azotobacter, Bejenicia, and Darksia are the examples of. This is a very easy question from microbiology. There is nothing much to discuss. So, 4 option hai. It's a very straight question. Tell me. Aerobes, microaerobes, facultative aerobes, obligate aerobes, anaerobes. I don't think you need much time for this because this ये जो पहला है, this only gives in the answer. Even if you don't know the other two, no problem. Azotobacter तो सबको पता है ना. When we start reading, we know Azotobacter is free living and Azotobacter is aerobic, right? So this is option A. So this box is also from old ISSS. As I say again and again, physical science में JRF देने जा रहे हो, you should be very thorough with both the ISSS and treatise. So this is from old ISSS. This box is also very, very, very important. I have seen questions from this at least 3 or 4 times, जहाँ पे ये बहुत ज़्यादा पूछा जाता है. This Klebsiella, Clostridium to everyone knows. This Disulfovibrio and Disulfotomaculum, these are obligate anaerobes. This we all know. Klebsiella has been asked many a times. Thiobacillus has been asked many a times. और यहाँ से Anabina nostoc तो definitely it has been asked. And you have to remember इसमें से phototrope कौन है और heterotrope कौन है, इस दोनों का meaning क्या है and all. All right, moving on. Which of the following statements are not? Be very careful with reading the question. Question जब पढ़ना है तो keywords में ध्यान देना है. Which of the following statements are not correct about fungi? ठीक, पढ़ते हैं statement. Fungi are primarily responsible for organic matter decomposition. Fungi are primarily responsible for organic matter decomposition. Some fungi form a symbiotic association with the roots of higher plants. When the fungus forms a mantle or sheath around the root surface, it is called hartignate, and where the mycelium develops intracellularly. Vesicular, arbuscular, mycorrhiza, VAM is endomycorrhizae. This is a big question. Take your time and try to answer it. They have asked which one is not correct. तो इसमें से एक statement तो at least गलत है ही. More than one भी गलत हो सकता है. Seeing the options, we can see either one is wrong or two is wrong. ठीक है? So you have to find out. You are saying D. Only 3 is not correct. Why is 3 not correct? Can you tell, Aman Kumar? Why is 3 not correct? What is wrong? When the fungus forms a mantle or sheath around the root surface, it is called hartignate. And where the mycelium develops intracellularly. इसमें गलत क्या है? intercellular develop. Yes, you are definitely correct because mantle or sheath banata hai ectomycorrhiza, right? Or ectomycorrhiza cannot develop it intracellularly, right? Baki, this is a correct statement. This is also a correct statement. इसका नाम कोई बता सकता है? Some fungi form a symbiotic association with the roots of higher plants. Those are called. What are that called? That is a very easy one. Write fast. Not VAM. You cannot tell everything is not VAM. VAM is a part of mycorrhizal association. It is called mycorrhiza, mycorrhizal association. All right. VAM. VAM comes in endomycorrhiza. It is a type of mycorrhiza. Not everything is VAM, right? Given below are two statements. Puddling is favorable for rice crop as it eases transplanting, reduce percolation of water and nutrients, increases water stagnation, and increase availability of essential nutrients in soil. This is statement 1. All right. Statement 2 is puddling is not favorable for upland crops as puddling destroys soil structure, increase draft power requirement to pulverize the puddled dry soils. So, इसमें से दो स्टेटमेंट में कौन सही है कौन गलत है कि दोनों सही है? What do you think? Puddling is favorable for rice crop तो ठीक है. As it eases transplanting भी ठीक है. Reduce percolation of water nutrients is also right. Increases water stagnation भी ठीक है. Increases availability of essential nutrients in soil भी ठीक है. Because we know submergence की वजह से the pH comes towards neutrality and जो essential nutrients है उसका availability बढ़ जाता है. So this is correct. This is definitely correct. Puddling is not favorable for upland crops because it destroys soil structure, increases draft power and requirement to pulverize puddled dry soils. This is also correct. So we have option C here. Both statements are definitely true. Both statements are correct, right? No issues here. Moving on. Which of the following statements are not correct? Which of the following statements are not correct? I'm sorry for the typing here, but you know, so much content is there, it is very hard to put it in a slide. So phylosphere is used to refer to total above ground portion of plant. This is statement 1. Genus Beijeringia and Darksia are unique. They can fix nitrogen in soils which are highly acidic even up to pH 4.0. This is 2. Next to bacteria, actinomycetes are widely distributed in soils. This is 3. Alpha amylase are synthesized by plants. Beta amylase are produced by plants, animals and microorganisms. This is statement 4. फिर से क्वेश्चन में वापस जाओ, इनमें से कौन नहीं करेक्ट है? Which are incorrect? Let's see क्या आंसर आ रहा है. See, only statement 4 is incorrect. Can you tell why statement 4 is incorrect? बाकी तो देखो easy है. Phylosphere is total above ground. This is correct. Beijeringia and Darksia can fix up to pH 4. This is also correct. Next to bacteria, actinomycetes. We all know it is bacteria, actinomycetes, and fungi. So this is also correct. Why is statement 4 not correct? What is wrong here? Alpha amylases are synthesized mainly by plants, whereas beta amylase are produced by plants, animals, and microorganisms. क्या गलत है इसमें? Alpha amylase by both plant, animal, and microorganism, and beta amylase is only by plants. Yes, you are very correct. This has been taken from treatise. No, this has been taken from new ICCs. Treatise में भी है. It is nothing but same. So here you can see in the amylase enzyme, it is written amylase is a group of starch hydrolyzing enzyme, which is most important is alpha amylase, which converts starch into glucose, and beta amylase, which converts starch into maltose. This is also important. You should remember, alpha converts starch into glucose and beta converts starch into maltose. All right. The alpha amylase are synthesized by plants, animals, and microorganisms, while beta amylase is produced mainly by plants. This is a very important part. All right. Remember this, huh? This is important. Soil microbiology, soil biology जो portion है उसमें enzymes form a very important part. उसमें dehydrogenase से question आता है, urease से question आता है, amylase से question आता है. These 3 enzymes you should be very thorough. All right. Moving on. Given below are 2 statements. SSP produced by the reaction of, I am really sorry, it is H3PO4. SSP is produced by the reaction of H3PO4 with rock phosphate. Statement 1. Statement 2 is continuous use of ammonium sulfate fertilizer. Ammonium sulfate fertilizer यानी कि NH4 whole 2 SO4. Continuous use of ammonium sulfate fertilizer induces a disease in rice by H2S toxicity called AgriAddict. Tell me, इसमें से कौन करेक्ट है, कौन गलत है? I can see C and B answer. Both statements are true. Both statements are true. अरे यार, नो 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 नो, यहाँ पे ये जो ऑप्शन नहीं है, this option would be the correct answer. Yes, first statement is wrong and second statement is true. Statement 1 is false, but statement 2 is true. SSP is produced by the reaction of H2SO4 with rock phosphate. TSP is produced by the reaction of H3PO4 with rock phosphate. है ना? A is false, B is true. Yes. TSP और SSP, TSP and SSP में जो फर्क है, that is this single superphosphate and triple superphosphate, है ना? SSP and TSP. So SSP is formed by H2SO4. इसमें अगर सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड नहीं रहेगा तो SSP में जिप्सम कहाँ से आएगा? CaSO4 कैसे प्रोड्यूस होगा? It is also CaSO4. No, what is SSP? SSP is monocalcium phosphate plus gypsum, CaSO4. So उसके लिए तो SO4 चाहिए ना? That would be sulfuric acid. Whereas TSP is a high analytical fertilizer. उसमें it is H3PO4 phosphoric acid जिसमें ऑलरेडी फॉस्फोरस है, उसके साथ फॉस्फेट रॉक को अगर हम रिएक्ट करेंगे तो इट विल फॉर्म TSP. हमें क्लियर? बाकी यहाँ पे एक ये दिया हुआ है explanation. Under the prolonged anaerobic conditions of flooded rice paddies, the sulfate component of ammonium sulfate fertilizer undergoes biological reduction by sulfate reducing bacteria to form H2S. और H2S बनने से ही AgriAddict होता है. We all know it is called AgriAddict disease. So, are we clear here? SSP, TSP, these are very, very, very important. SSP, TSP, urea, DAP, जो fertilizers and manures का chapter है, both in old ISSS and new ISSS, that is extremely important. वहाँ से बहुत सारा question आता है. Fertility is the portion which you cannot neglect. Fertility, physics and pedology. If you see historical trends, these three are the most important parts जहाँ से 24, 25, 27 questions आता है कभी-कभी, है ना? So, be very clear about these fertilizers and manures. All right, moving on. Complex compounds produced by roots or through bacterial degradation. This has been directly taken from old ISSS soil biology chapter, जहाँ पे खुलते ही you can see those definitions. So this is just to check your memory, how much you are thorough with your ISSS and how much you have read this. So complex compounds produced by roots or through bacterial degradation are called exudates, secretions, mucilage, lysate. Aman Kumar is saying it is secretion. It is not secretion. इसमें तो explain करने का कुछ है नहीं, है ना? So we will directly go to the answer. The correct answer is C. It is mucilage. This has been taken from treatise. यही same चीज it is there in the old ISSS also. वहाँ पे जाके अच्छे से देख लेना. These definitions are very confusing. You will feel like all are overlapped with एक दूसरे के साथ, but actual में it is not like overlapped है, बहुत ही ज़्यादा overlapped है, but you have to remember it. There is no other way. You have to remember the keywords. Leaking अगर आया तो exudate, release through metabolic processes से release हुआ तभी secretion होगा. All right, ऐश्वर्या, you are telling it is exudate तभी होगा जब ये leaking होगा, नहीं तो exudate नहीं है. Then mucilage is complex compounds produced by roots or through bacterial degradation. All right. So all these definitions you should be very thorough. जाके इसको पढ़ लेना and memorize this. Maybe write it somewhere and memorize this बहुत अच्छे से. This is very important. I have seen many questions in PYQs. At least 2-3 you can expect. है ना? Which of the following statements is not correct? नॉट करेक्ट अबाउट ODR, ऑक्सीजन डिफ्यूजन रेट। इस इनमें से कौन करेक्ट नहीं है? ODR increases with decreasing soil water content. ODR decreases with increase in fineness of the soil. ODR decreases with increasing soil depth. ODR increases with fineness and compaction of soil. तो यहाँ पे तो ऑप्शन देख के सी, when you apply your brain, sometimes it is not that difficult, you know, because here you can see ये जो ऑप्शन 2 है और ये जो ऑप्शन 4 है, both are contradicting each other. So या तो ऑप्शन 2 या ऑप्शन 4 में आंसर होगा। ए और सी को तो हम अभी से भगा दिए, it will not be there. तो क्या आंसर होगा? Spurti is telling option D. Anil Jat is telling option D. Aman Kumar option D. Yes, 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 yes. You all are correct. It is nothing but option D. It is very simple concept. There is nothing new to know. Factors affecting ODR: soil water tension. ODR increases with decreasing soil water. ODR decreases with increasing fineness. ODR decreases with increasing soil depth, and ODR decreases with increasing compaction. This is a very easy concept. सॉइल में मैक्रोपोर रहता है, माइक्रोपोर रहता है, उसमें से वाटर अगर चला जाएगा सो ज्यादा प्रोपोर्शन विल बी अवेलेबल टू एयर, सो उसका एडीआर बढ़ जाएगा। सेकेंडली सॉइल टेक्सचर, इंक्रीज इन फाइननेस ऑफ सॉइल, तो उसमें माइक्रोपोर बढ़ेगा, माइक्रोपोर इज वाटर कंटेनिंग पोर, तो उसमें एयर का प्रोपोर्शन कमेगा तो ओडीआर घट जाएगा। सॉइल डेप्थ, जितना डीप में हम जाएंगे उतना सॉइल की वेट की वजह से, उतना कॉम्पैक्शन की वजह से पोर स्पेस घटता जाएगा, सो अगेन ओडीआर विल decrease, and finally soil compaction, jitna compaction hoga pore space, this is nothing but totally dependent on pore space, so ODR will not increase with fineness and compaction of soil, so this is incorrect, hai na? Moving on, which soil structure is characterized by the following features? इजी क्वेश्चन है, लेकिन ऐसा क्वेश्चन आता है और ऐसे फॉर्मेट में ही आता है। दे विल नॉट आस्क यू डायरेक्टली, बट दे विल आस्क यू लाइक दिस, है ना? So peds are elongated more in the vertical than the horizontal. पहला ही बहुत बढ़िया क्लू है। Peds are elongated more in the vertical, less in the horizontal, giving a pillar-like appearance. Pillar-like appearance दे रहा है। Commonly found in arid and semi-arid regions, usually found in the B horizon. इसका आंसर I can see option B. Option B is prism. Yes, you are totally correct. This table has been taken from old ISSS, ये new ISSS में भी है this same table. You should be very thorough with this. You should remember these structures also, and you should remember this. I remember during my mock SRF in 2024, this question came where they have common in the B horizon, particularly in humid regions. इस लाइन से, इस स्टेटमेंट से क्वेश्चन आया था, एंड ऑल्सो बिलो दिस टेबल इसका जो एक्सप्लेनेशन है, रीड दैट ऑल्सो वेरी करेक्टली, वेयर यू विल फाइंड दिस प्रिज्म लाइक is found in the B horizon, common in soils of arid and semi-arid regions, but also can be found in places of degraded soil of subhumid region. ये स्टेटमेंट वहां पे लिखा है। So इसके नीचे जो पार्ट है एक्सप्लेनेशन, read that also very thoroughly, and this table also you should read very thoroughly. All right, moving on. Given below are two statements. Soil phosphorus is considered to be in 4 different pools. Readily extractable P held on soil surface forms the low accessibility pool. Low accessibility pool. In light of the above, tell me which are correct and which are not. Soil phosphorus is considered to be in 4 different pools. Readily extractable P held on soil forms the low accessibility pool. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. I can see all the answers telling that yes, you are very correct. These are the 4 pools of phosphorus taken from old ISSS as usual. Immediately accessible जो है वो है solution pool. High accessibility है readily extractable. Low accessibility is low extractable, and very low or not accessible है this very strongly bonded or inaccessible or mineral or precipitated. Strongly bonded is low and surface adsorbed is high accessibility, whereas immediately is the soil solution. All right, इसमें ज़्यादा कुछ explain करने का नहीं है. Be very thorough with this. This figure also is very important. It is there in old ISSS, and you should remember this. All the 4 pools, किसका accessibility कितना है, and remember these signs also. All right. Can you see this? ये sign सारा same नहीं है ना? You can see this arrow is longer this arrow is smaller. इसका मतलब है ये बहुत इजीली आसानी से होता है, but this is very slow. Here also you can see the sizes of the two arrows are different. This happens very easily, but this happens very slowly. But here you can see it is equal. So both are very easily in equilibrium. All right. All right. All right. Let's move on. Given below are the two statements. Conservation tillage is also known as clean tillage. Conservation tillage is also known as clean tillage. Paraquat herbicide became chemical foundation for tillage farming in USA. This question is from a bit outside of soil science, you can say. This is from agronomy. This is also you can say from agronomy, and also you can say from chemicals. So let's see if you can answer this correctly. I cannot see any answers. I can see only one, D. Statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Yes, Aman Kumar, you are very correct. That's very impressive. So conservation tillage is not known as clean tillage. In fact, the two are opposites, है ना? Because conservation tillage is specifically designed to leave crop residue of at least 30% on the soil surface, whereas clean tillage is synonymous with conventional tillage, where primary tillage implements are used to completely invert the soil and bury all the crop residues, leaving a bare or very clean soil surface, जहाँ पे हम बहुत easily sow कर सकते हैं for the next season. And also, this paraquat is a non-selective contact herbicide introduced in the early 1960s, served exactly this purpose, and it became a chemical foundation for no tillage farming in USA. ये बहुत important है, ऐसे question आने का chances है. Remember this question, all right? When you will get the PPT, ये question अलग से अच्छे से देख लेना एक बार, है ना? Another question from mineral nutrition, fertility chapter. According to carrier hypothesis, phosphokinase enzyme is located on the inner side of the boundary. The moving carrier molecule is regenerated and activated by phosphokinase enzyme. If you have not read and have not understood the carrier hypothesis given by Epstein, if you have not understood, you cannot solve this question. You have to read that and you have to understand the mechanism. Then only you can solve this question. Sir, can we get the PDF of this? Of course, you can get the PDF of this. You just have to submit the Google form, that is, uska link यहाँ पे ही है. So you can submit the Google form and you will get this PDF instantly. You are telling A, both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Yes, you are. Wow, that's very impressive. So मैं यहाँ पे जो लिख के लाया हूँ, this is nothing but it is from the old ISSS. Old ISSS में, even if you do not read all this, you have to read that figure that has been given, you know, imagined by Mengel and Kirkby. That figure जहाँ पे SSL है, here is phosphokinase, here is phosphokinase में आने के बाद this is phosphokinase which regenerates the phosphorus plus ion plus carrier molecule which is activated. और यहाँ पे आने के बाद this is the phosphatase enzyme. Phosphatase enzyme में आने के बाद they take out the phosphorus और जो ion है वो अंदर चला जाता है and the inactivated carrier goes here. And you can see the second statement is this: the moving carrier molecule जो inactivated हो गया था due to this phosphatase, it is regenerated and reactivated by the phosphokinase enzyme, and this goes on. I told this in very simple, only one line, but you have to read that. Open that figure and read that अच्छे से, उसको समझ लेना. There is nothing new, nothing rocket science in that. You can understand very easily. But carrier hypothesis by Epstein is very important. Among all those uptake mechanisms and among all those absorption mechanisms, carrier hypothesis is the most important. It comes in JRF, it comes in your MSc exams, it comes in your PhD exams as well. अभी मैं लिख के आया हूँ, you know, in my exam. So you should be very thorough with carrier hypothesis by Epstein. ये जो मैं समझाया, this figure, ये अच्छे से देख लेना. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments, you can ask anywhere, you can contact me and I will make it easy for you. The thickness of soil crust depends upon size of raindrop, amount and type of clay and silt present in the soil. Kaolinite forms a small crust, but montmorillonite type of clay forms a thick and hard crust. In light of the above, tell me how many of the statements are correct? Aishwarya is telling option A. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Option A, Aman Kumar, Anil Jat. Yes, all of you are correct. This is very easy. So properties and effect of soil crust formation. We all know that thickness of soil crust depends upon size of raindrop, amount and type of clay and silt present in soil. Kaolinite forms a small crust, but montmorillonite type of clay forms a thick and hard crust. You know, यहाँ पे जो है, all this is written. You should read it. But crust, I would suggest you should read from treatise because old ISSS, new ISSS दोनों में ही उतना अच्छे से नहीं है. But in treatise it has been given very good. All those types of crust also you should be thorough with. Coalescing crust, slaking crust, sieving crust. Read those crust. कौन से soil में form होता है, that is also very important. Which soil results in formation of which type of crust and also types of crust and these. The thickness of crust depends on what and which mineral forms which type of crust. All right. Treatise, remember this part is best in treatise. ये वाला treatise से पढ़ लेना. Moving on, mass wetness is also known as gravimetric water content. The saturation water content on mass basis can never exceed 100%. Tell me, which are these statements? Which of them are correct? Mass wetness is also called gravimetric water content. क्या ये correct है? The saturation water content on mass basis can never exceed 100%. क्या ये correct है? Use your brain. I know the second statement is not written in any book. कहीं पे ऐसे लिखा नहीं है directly, but use your brain. All of you are telling A. That's not true. That is not correct. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Mass wetness is definitely called gravimetric water content. इसमें तो कोई संदेह ही नहीं है. Volumetric water content or gravimetric water content we both know, but the second statement is not correct. क्यों? यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है. You can see the reasons. I have taken this for you. Organic soils or histosols like peat and mark soil possess highly porous structure with very low bulk densities. If a peat soil has a bulk density of 0.2 gram per centimeter cube and a particle density of 1.4, its water content and saturation would be 429%. So organic soil, histosol जिसका bulk density बहुत low है ना? How saturation can exceed 100%? वही दिखा रहा हूँ ना. Volcanic ash soil जिसका bulk density बहुत low है and highly swelling clays. Certain smectites like bentonite can absorb several times than their own dry weight in water. Mass basis में बोल रहा हूँ, mass, all right. Mass of water can exceed 100% because mass का मतलब क्या है? Mass of water divided by mass of soil. Mass of soil जितना है उससे ज्यादा mass का water हो सकता है. How? See in this organic soil, in this histosol. I have given a beautiful example here. You see, अगर bulk density 0.2 है और particle density 1.4 है ना? Then water content, that would be the porosity at saturation would be 4.29. We know porosity is always less than 1, that is less than 100%. But यहाँ पे आ रहा है 429%, है ना? The volcanic ash soil, these soils contain amorphous clay like allophane and dimogolite, which hold massive amounts of water relative to their solid mass, frequently exceeding 100% gravimetric water content at saturation. So mass of water can become more than the mass of soil. That's how you can get more than 100% saturation water content also. Moving on, temperatures on crest of ridges is higher than on furrows. पहले एक ridge और furrow draw कर लेते हैं. These are the crest, these are the furrow. Why? Reason is solar radiation striking perpendicular to the surface heat it more as it falls on a smaller area. क्या ये correct है? Tell me. Here you can see this is called the crest, this is called the furrow. So it is telling temperature on crest is higher than on furrows. Is the assertion and the reason correct? What do you feel? She is saying A. Khushi is saying A. So you are telling both A and R are correct and R is the correct explanation of A. Yes, you are definitely correct. इसमें तो common sense है, इसमें कुछ soil science नहीं है. यहाँ पे surface area कम है, यहाँ पे surface area ज़्यादा है. So the sunlight falling on this falls on a lesser surface area. Lesser surface area में ज़्यादा intense heat पड़ेगा, तो उसका temperature बढ़ जाएगा. ये यहाँ पे the light gets diffused और बड़ा surface area में same amount of sunlight पड़ेगा, तो heat घटेगा. So this is a very correct question, very correct assertion with a very correct reason. So we will move on to the next question. You can see these are our courses and you can also visit our website to see. Another assertion reason, adding of humified organic matter can reduce aluminum toxicity in soil. Very nice assertion. The reason is humified organic matter can bind tightly to aluminum ions and prevent them from building toxic substances. This is a very easy one. इतना easy पेपर में आएगा नहीं है ना. We are just making you practice the assertion and reason, but it will be a bit more difficult है ना. So yes, all of you are correct. It is of course option A. Assertion is correct and R is the correct explanation of A. The most problematic thing with assertion and reason becomes the confusion between option 1 and 2. Many of the times you definitely know the answer, you know everything correctly, but option 1 or 2 में गलती हो जाता है. And sometimes it's not your fault also, it is the examiner's fault who sets the question. He himself is sometimes not clear. All right, I have seen in my career many times that a question that is clearly having option 2, NTA has given answer key as option 1. So there will be no explanation, no accountability. All of you know NTA does not answer your question, does not answer your mail. कितना भी तुम challenge कर लो 200 रुपए देके, they are not going to change it. So until and unless your brain matches with that of examiners, बहुत problem है. So be very careful with this A and R, this option 1 and option 2, where to put what. I would suggest do not think too much. All right, if you feel like going for option 1, go for option 1, because ज़्यादातर देखा गया है they go with option 1 only, option 2 only in very special cases, right? The bond angle in water is a deviation from a perfectly tetrahedral arrangement. All right, the unshared pair of electrons repel the shared pair of electrons. The bond angle in water is a deviation from a perfectly tetrahedral arrangement. The unshared pair of electrons repel the shared pair of electrons. What would be the answer? I cannot see any answers. Anyone? Yes, Aishwarya is telling A. Yes, Shioshi, you are also correct. This is also A. This is also very easy one. There is nothing much to explain, nothing much to think. We all know bond angle in water is around 105 degree. Actually, it is 104.5 degree. But the actual angle of a tetrahedral structure is 109 degree, 28 minutes, as we all know. So 109 and 28 ki jagah, it becomes 105. So definitely it's a deviation. And why this happens? Why this happens ke liye, we will have to draw a structure of water here. इसमें तो जगह नहीं है, but we will draw. We will try to draw. ये हो गया water. तो ऑक्सीजन का कितना इलेक्ट्रॉन हुआ? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. ऑक्सीजन का खुद का कितना इलेक्ट्रॉन हुआ? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So correct. So this is a lone pair and this is a lone pair. And if you remember correctly, your chemistry lessons from 11 and 12, the lone pair repulsion is greater than lone pair bond pair repulsion, which is greater than bond pair and bond pair repulsion. तो ये दो बॉन्ड में जो रिपल्शन है उससे काफी ज्यादा ये रिपल्शन है एंड ये रिपल्शन है. So for this reason of repulsion of these two lone pairs of electrons, ये दोनों साइड में हटे जाते हैं and that's the reason these two come close. तो इसका जो actual structure होना चाहिए था 109.28, that reduces to 105. All right, is that clear? Is that clear, or do you need any more explanation? Yes, chalo, very good. Denitrification is often more during day than night. Denitrification is often more during day than night. Temperature is generally more in daytime, which is suitable for denitrifying agent. बताओ बताओ जल्दी इसका आंसर बताओ, इसमें भी कुछ नहीं है. There is nothing to think about, nothing to say. Just tell the answer and we'll move on. D, A is not correct but R is correct. Why A is not correct? This is a very straight question and this has been taken straight from ISSS. Denitrification is often more during daytime than night due to higher temperature. Simple सी बात है. कोई भी chemical reaction है, कोई भी microbial reaction है, biochemical reaction है, generally it increases with increasing temperature up to a optimum, we all know. अब दिन के टाइम में टेम्परेचर बढ़ के अगर 70 डिग्री चला गया तो अलग बात है, बट मेजरली इट स्टेज अराउंड विद इन 40 ओनली. कितना भी तुम धूप में चले जाओ, कितना भी दिल्ली में चले जाओ. सो denitrification is of course more in day than night because temperature at day is more than night. All right, moving on. By tillage, this is a controversial question, so there might be some different answers, but let's see. Tillage, soil temperature decreases, breaking of soil structure increases the thermal conductivity. Tell me. What would be the answer of this? By tillage, soil temperature decreases, breaking of soil structure increases thermal conductivity. What do you think? I cannot see any answers at all. What is taking you so long? C, A is correct but R is not correct. Yes, you are correct, Shreyoshi. The first statement is generally considered correct. That's why I told you this is controversial. It is generally considered correct because tillage loosens the topsoil, increasing its porosity and the amount of air trapped within it. Because air is a very poor conductor of heat compared to soil minerals and water, this loose layer acts as an insulator, much like a mulch. During the day, it reduces the amount of solar heat that can penetrate and transfer to the deeper soil layers, effectively keeping the subsurface soil cooler and than untilled, compacted soil. Additionally, tillage exposes moist soil to the surface, leading to evaporative cooling, which further decreases the overall soil temperature. ठीक है, यहाँ पे लिखा है इसका रीजन, देख लेना इस पीडीएफ में. एंड सेकेंड जो स्टेटमेंट है वो तो पक्का रॉन्ग है, दैट वी ऑल नो, बिकॉज कंडक्टिविटी में देयर इज कनेक्शन. जितना ज्यादा कॉम्पैक्शन है, जितना ज्यादा कनेक्टेड है सॉइल पार्टिकल्स, उतना ज्यादा हीट फ्लो होगा. वंस यू ब्रेक द कनेक्शन, सिंस एयर इज अ वेरी पुअर कंडक्टर ऑफ हीट, so the thermal conductivity will go down. All right, so the answer will be C. A is correct but R is not correct. Breaking of soil structure does not increase the thermal conductivity, it reduces the thermal conductivity, है ना? You also know the reason for that, no? Sand, loam, clay, thermal conductivity का जो सीरीज है, this is this because जितना इधर जाओगे उतना पोरोसिटी बढ़ेगा, उतना एयर का प्रोपोर्शन बढ़ेगा. Again, another assertion reason question. The estimation of plant available phosphorus depends exclusively on inorganic form of P. Be very careful with this exclusively word. Organic form of P do not contribute to plant nutrition? This is also a very tricky and kind of hard question. Let's see if you can solve that. Estimation of plant available phosphorus depends exclusively on inorganic form of P. Organic form of P do not contribute to plant nutrition. So only if you have done the phosphorus estimation in your practicals and you know the principle, then only you can know whether statement 1 is correct or not, and statement 2 is organic form of P. Aman Kumar is saying A. A to not at all correct. A is totally wrong. Anil Jat Spurti Khushi Parekh is telling B. P is also not correct. C is the correct answer. Estimation of plant available phosphorus depends exclusively on inorganic form of P. This is correct. If you have done phosphorus estimation, you would know that it is entirely dependent on inorganic form of P, right? Because the extractants that we used, उसमें डार्को G60 या चारकोल डाल के first we take out all the organic matter. We cannot estimate the organic matter, है ना? Organic matter के अंदर जो phosphorus है, we cannot estimate that. We cannot extract that also. We only extract the inorganic form of P that is present as variscite or strengite or the apatite, like calcium phosphate, aluminium phosphate, iron phosphate के रूप में जो है, उसको हम extract कर सकते हैं. Iron and aluminium को extract कर सकते हैं using Bray, which is used for acid soil, and calcium phosphate को हम extract कर सकते हैं in the Olsen method, which is for alkaline soil. उसमें सिर्फ inorganic phosphate का होता है exclusively. This is a true statement, but organic form of P do not contribute to plant nutrition. How can you tell that? Because जो organic matter है हमारे soil में, उसमें जो phosphate है, उसमें जो phytin है, वो सारा जो phosphatase enzyme, phytase enzyme की वजह से जब mineralization उसका होके जब वो soil में आता है, why would it not contribute to plant nutrition? It would definitely contribute to plant nutrition. Organic matter अगर soil में है, तो उसको हम, how can we ignore that? The second statement you see, organic form of P do not contribute to plant nutrition. This is totally wrong. Organic form of nitrogen, organic form of P both contribute to plant nutrition after mineralization, है ना? So it would be A is correct, but R is not correct, है ना? These questions are bit controversial, so you should be very, very critical while thinking that, है ना? Moving on. For a soil with subsoil acidity, this question is from soil acidity. For a soil with subsoil acidity, gypsum or phosphogypsum is useful. If you have read new ICCS, this statement is directly from there. Calcium from surface applied lime, calcium from surface applied lime moves faster than gypsum. Let's see. What would you say for this? A is correct, but R is not correct. Aman Kumar is saying A is correct, but R is not correct. Any other answers? I would like to see some other answers. Let's see. Shreyoshi is saying C. All right. Anyone else? Any other answers? What do you think? Is it C? Is it B? Is it A? C. Anil Jat is also saying C. Yes, all of you are correct this time, because ये तो एकदम पक्का करेक्ट लाइन है. यू कैन सी इट इन ओल्ड ICCS एंड न्यू ICCS बोथ के CaSO4 जब हम डालते हैं, CaSO4 कैनॉट बी यूज्ड एज अ लाइमिंग मटेरियल फॉर सॉइल एसिडिटी एमेलियोरेशन वगैरह वगैरह, उसके नीचे लिखा है, बट फॉर सबसॉइल एसिडिटी वी कैन यूज CaSO4 और फॉस्फोजिप्सम, दैट वुड बी यूजफुल. द सेकंड स्टेटमेंट directly contradicts this first statement. It is saying calcium from surface applied lime. नहीं, calcium from surface applied gypsum moves faster than lime. All right, because CaSO4 both नीचे चला जाता है with water, है ना? Whereas CaCO3 travels very less. CaCO3 stays on the soil surface only. All right, that is very impressive. This question was said correct by 3 people. That's very good. इसको अच्छे से देखना. Be very thorough with these parts. This liming is very important part of soil acidity और यहाँ से बहुत questions आते हैं, है ना? Be very sure. Soils containing high mineral matter. This is from soil physics, core concept of soil physics. Let's see how good you are with soil physics. Soils containing high mineral matter has more temperature than soils containing more organic matter. Why? Because the specific heat of organic matter is more than mineral matter. Is it correct? Is assertion correct and reason also correct? A, C, D, 3 आंसर आ गया यार. Oh my God. Soil physics का question आया. Already I can see 3 types of answers. C, D, A, C, D, A. अरे. D. A is not correct but R is correct. Soil containing high mineral matter has more temperature than soil containing more organic matter is wrong. How can you say it is wrong? It is not at all wrong. Of course, it is option A. Both A and R are correct and it is the correct explanation. See, I think you have a problem in understanding what is specific heat. I will tell you. Don't worry. Specific heat का मतलब क्या है? Specific heat का मतलब है the amount of heat needed for 1 gram of a substance to raise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. है ना? So यहाँ पे एक 1 ग्राम का ऑर्गेनिक मैटर है, यहाँ पे एक 1 ग्राम का मिनरल मैटर है. ठीक है. अब इसका स्पेसिफिक हीट ज्यादा है देन दिस, तो इसका मतलब इसमें ज्यादा हीट सप्लाई करना पड़ेगा टू इंक्रीज द टेम्परेचर बाय 1 डिग्री सेल्सियस, व्हेयरएज इसमें थोड़ा सा कम हीट में ही वो बढ़ के 1 डिग्री सेल्सियस बढ़ जाएगा, बिकॉज इसका स्पेसिफिक हीट कम है. सो soils containing high mineral matter has more temperature than soils containing more organic matter. True, because mineral का specific heat कम है, तो कम हीट में ही इसका टेम्परेचर बढ़ जाएगा. So of course soil containing high mineral matter will have more temperature. The reason is the specific heat of organic matter is more than the mineral matter. Organic matter का specific heat ज्यादा होता है. सबसे ज्यादा specific heat किसका होता है? Which is the highest? Which compound has the highest specific heat? That is known to us. That is very common to us in the soil system, in our everyday system. सबसे ज्यादा किसका है? one किसका है? Yes, it is water. That's very easy. All right. So here this table I have taken from Daniel Hillel. Here you can see the constituents are given and also the density is given and the heat capacity is given. So यहाँ पे अगर तुम देखोगे तो water has 1 calorie per centimeter cube degree Celsius. Organic matter has 0.60. Mineral matter, other minerals जो है, there are lots of minerals in soil, so we cannot say one value, but उसका जब हम average लेते हैं, it becomes 0.48. So mineral का है 0.48, organic का है 0.60 and water का है 1.00. All right. I would suggest you to remember these 3 values because SRF 2024 में ये क्वेश्चन आया था. They have given the proportion of these 3. Specific heat supply नहीं किया था. They have given only the proportion and they have asked कि soil का total specific heat कितना होगा. So उसमें you have to multiply 0.25 into 0.48. जितना proportion दिया है उसके साथ उसका corresponding specific heat multiply करके उसको add करना है. That's how you will get that. So I would suggest you remember these 3 values. For that you can read this table. इस टेबल में लिस्टेड है. क्वार्ट्ज का है अलग से, सॉइल मिनरल का है, ऑर्गेनिक मैटर का है. Here you can see that 0.48 is also the heat capacity of quartz and it is also the heat capacity of like mineral matter as a whole. Why? Because quartz forms the major proportion of soil minerals. है ना? I think I'm clear. कुछ अगर कुछ doubt है, anything is there, put it in the comments. Do not feel ashamed. Do not feel anything. Just put. All right. Given below are the 2 statements. One is labeled as contour plowing is an effective method for soil conservation because it involves plowing along the contour to slow down the velocity of flowing water and reduce soil erosion. इसमें तो हम बिल्कुल we will not take any time. We'll just move on. Yes, option है. इसमें कुछ नहीं करना है. This is definitely option है. Contour is effective method and it involves plowing along the contour. ये सारे टर्म्स याद रखना. What is along the contour, what is across the contour, what is along the slope, what is across the slope, to slow down the velocity of flowing water and reduce soil erosion. All right. Yes, everyone are correct here. Moving on. Dicotyledonous plants have a higher CEC. Dicotyledonous plants have a higher CEC. That is why they absorb a large amount of divalent cations. Reason, monocotyledonous plants have a lower CEC, so they absorb monovalent cations. Answers are coming in, answers are coming in. Yes, yes, all of you are saying it is B, it is B, it is B, B, B. Yes, 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 all of you are correct. Definitely this statement is correct and this statement is correct, but इन दोनों में कोई संबंध नहीं है ना? ये dicotyledonous बोल रहा है, ये monocotyledonous बोल रहा है, तो they do not relate to each other, but both the statements are correct. So option B is the correct answer, right? Moving on. Kaolinite is non-expanding, sorry for the typing here. Kaolinite is non-expanding clay mineral when wetted. Okay. The tetrahedral and the octahedral sheets in kaolinite are held together tightly by hydrogen bonding. That is R. So what would you say? The answer? Okay, I am getting answer A, answer A, answer A, Anil Jat, Spurti, Aman Kumar, Shoshi. Yes, all of you are definitely correct. इसमें भी कुछ बोलने का नहीं है. Kaolinite, we all of us know, all soil science students know, kaolinite is non-expanding mineral, or we all know कि because tetrahedral and octahedral जो sheet है, उसके बीच में there is hydrogen bonding. Like tetrahedral is like this, no? This is the upper वाला, इसके साथ ही there is octahedral sheet. So this is like 1:1 हो गया. So ये जो tetrahedral sheet है, इसके साथ जो next octahedral sheet है, there is hydrogen bonding. This bonding is hydrogen bonding. This hydrogen bonding is so strong, जिसके वजह से water cannot move inside and there cannot be no intercalation of water. All right? I think you all know this. Exam is only 1 month away. There is no need to explain this in detail. Moving on. Organic farming offers various advantages over conventional methods. Organic farming promotes environmental sustainability, produces healthier food, and reduces the risk of chemical contamination, aligning with growing consumer demand for ethically and sustainably produced food. Organic farming से अभी बहुत question आ रहा है, so you should be very thorough with the concepts of organic farming. You should know, definitely you should know. This is a very easy question, I must say. इसमें कुछ है नहीं ज़्यादा. Like you can easily guess the answer also, even if you don't know. इसमें जानने लायक कुछ है नहीं. So yes, option A is the correct. This type of questions are easy. बस इसमें English का knowledge होना चाहिए और कुछ नहीं. Moving on. Another question from soil acidity. Let's see. Liming is always limited. Always limited. Look at the keywords. ये सारे words में ही कभी घुमा देता है. So look very carefully. Liming is always limited to neutralize active acidity and a part of exchangeable acidity, but no attempt is made to neutralize potential acidity. Nice statement. The potential acidity is much higher than active acidity or exchangeable acidity, requiring much larger doses of lime. So, what are the answers I am getting? A, yes. Yes, all of you are correct. Definitely it is A, because liming is limited to neutralize active acidity and only a part of exchangeable acidity. Because अगर हम reserve या residual acidity को अगर हम लोग neutralize करने गए, तो the amount of lime that would be needed, that is huge and that is impossible for anyone to procure that much amount of lime. उसमें जो खर्चा होगा, that is unimaginable. That is why potential acidity is much higher than active acidity or exchangeable acidity, requiring much larger dosage of lime. So we do not have any effort, we do not make any effort to neutralize the potential acidity. All right, moving on. Lime potential is based on the concept of ratio law, and it is a more stable index than pH. Value of lime potential does not depend on soil is to water ratio or salt content. Tell me the answer of this. Lime potential is based on the concept of ratio law and it is more stable index than pH. Value of lime potential does not depend on soil water ratio or salt content. You are telling C. C. Why are you telling C? Why would you tell C? It is not C. Lime potential तो इसलिए ही लाया गया था because that should be no, Aman Kumar, it is not B also, it is A. Lime potential is based on the concept of ratio law and it is a more stable index than pH. Why? Because it is not depending on soil water ratio or salt content. Simple. Sir, can you explain the concept? Sure, why not? पहले lime potential का formula बताओ. What is the lime potential का formula क्या है? यहाँ पे यार. Here we will explain, right? Formula of lime potential is है ना? Any problem? Any problem with this? pH minus half. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. अब क्वेश्चन आता है कि ये आया कहां से? From where this comes, right? When the scientists were devising or trial and erroring with various methods of measuring the soil pH, they were trialing and erroring various ratios. 1:2, 1:2.5, 1:5, 1:10. I myself have done 1:2.5 and 1:2 ratio of soil and water for determining the pH. अब इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है? ड्यू टू द डाइल्यूशन थ्रू वाटर हर एक रेशियो में अलग अलग पीएच आएगा. सो ये अलग अलग पीएच ना आए फॉर गिविंग अ स्टेबल इंडेक्स, Schofield on 1955. Actually Schofield and Taylor on 1955 gave the concept of lime potential. इसका मतलब क्या है? हम सबको पता है Schofield का रेशियो लॉ. What is Schofield's ratio law? Schofield's ratio law बोलता है कि if we alter the monovalent cations by one factor, then the divalent cation by square of that factor and the trivalent cation by the cube of that factor, तो the equilibrium is not disturbed. है ना? इसका मतलब समझ में कुछ आया? इसका मतलब है ये जो एक्सचेंज कॉम्प्लेक्स है और ये जो सॉल्यूशन पूल है सॉइल में, इस दोनों में जो इक्विलिब्रियम है, that equilibrium will not be disturbed अगर हम सॉल्यूशन पूल में जो आयंस है Ca2+ है, Al3+ है, H+ है, ये जो आयंस है इनकी एक्टिविटीज को अगर हम चेंज करें इन अ सर्टेन रेशियो, इसको अगर हम चेंज करें इन द रेशियो ऑफ 2, इसको अगर हम चेंज करें 2⁻³ और इसको अगर हम चेंज करें 2⁻4, यानी कि 2, 8, 4, इस रेशियो में अगर चेंज करें तो दिस इक्विलिब्रियम विल नॉट बी डिस्टर्ब्ड, है ना? तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब हुआ H+ by this is equal to constant. This is the ratio law, है ना? This is the ratio law. According to the ratio law, you can read it there in the ICAR. वो लिखा हुआ है. There H+ है तो नहीं है. It is given with K+ and Ca2+ in the exchangeable phase and in the solution phase. So from this value here, उसको लेके हम अगर इधर आए तो ये जो है these are the activities, है ना? Activity of H+ by activity of √over of Ca2+ is equal to constant. अब उसको हम लेके आके in both sides of the equation take log. Taking log on both sides of the equation, log of constant is nothing but it is again a constant. Log of constant is a constant only. ठीक है? तो इसको हम क्या करेंगे? Log of A by B, we all know it is log H+ minus log √over of Ca2+, है ना? Log of H+ minus log of √over of Ca2+. log H+ का मतलब क्या है? log H+ का मतलब है माइनस pH. क्यों? बिकॉज माइनस log H+ इक्वल टू pH, तो log H+ इक्वल टू माइनस pH. सो इट विल बी माइनस pH, लेकिन यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी माइनस है तो +½ P Ca. All right. Then if we multiply it with minus, it will become, we will take this on that side, pH minus half PCA is equal to constant. This pH minus half PCA is called the lime potential. Is it clear? इतना कुछ जो मैं लिखा वो क्या समझ में आया? Or there is any problem? Tell me. So since this is a constant, इतना कुछ बोलने का क्या मतलब है? इतना derivation करने का क्या मतलब है? Why is this constant? Because value of lime potential does not depend on soil is to water ratio or the salt content. Because तुम कुछ भी करो, this value will be constant. All right. So lime potential is based on the concept of ratio law. वो भी मैं बोला. It is based on the concept of ratio law, and value of lime potential does not depend. That is why both are correct. है ना? Thank you so much. You have understood. Very nice. Soil compaction is required to decrease infiltration in sandy soil. That's a very easy statement. Sandy soil generally have high infiltration capacity. इसका आंसर बस 10 सेकंड में करेंगे और आगे निकलेंगे, बिकॉज पिछले क्वेश्चन में बहुत टाइम गया. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, all of you are correct. इसमें तो कुछ समझने का है ही नहीं. This is definitely option A is the answer. Soil compaction is required to decrease infiltration. Why? Because sandy soil generally have very high infiltration capacity. We all know that sandy soil में पानी डालो तो जल्दी नीचे चला जाता है. उसको ठीक करने के लिए we have to compact the soil so that the soil stays. है ना? Under anaerobic condition, less polymerized fulvic acid will predominate. This is directly taken from ISSS. ये एकदम ISSS का line है. So if you are thorough with ISSS, you can answer this. Under anaerobic condition, phenol oxidation will be less than that under aerobic condition. इसका आंसर, let's see. This is from the chapter of soil organic matter, written by Dr. Kunal Kumar Ghosh. She is telling A. Yes, you are absolutely correct. This is written there. Go and study. Under anaerobic condition, less polymerized fulvic acid will predominate, because under anaerobic condition, phenol oxidation will be less than that under anaerobic condition. अब यहाँ पे कोई पूछने से पहले मैं बता देता हूँ what is the reason, है ना? This is a bit difficult. We all know fulvic से जब हम humic की तरफ जाते हैं तो CN क्या होता है? बढ़ता है या घटता है? Does it increase or does it decrease? The amount of carbon and nitrogen. जब हम fulvic से humic की तरफ जाते हैं तो the amount of carbon and nitrogen increase or decrease? The molecular weight definitely increases, we all know. Increase, yes. But जो the amount of oxygen है that decreases. Amount of oxygen is more in fulvic, है ना? Amount of oxygen is more in fulvic. If you go and see that table of fulvic acid and humic acid का composition, so carbon and nitrogen बढ़ता है fulvic से humic की तरफ, but oxygen बढ़ता है humic से fulvic की तरफ. So under anaerobic condition, phenol oxidation will be less than that under aerobic condition. तो oxygen ज्यादा रहेगा. Oxygen ज्यादा रहेगा का तो मतलब phenol oxidation will be less than that under aerobic condition. Phenol है ना? इसका oxidation अगर नहीं होगा तो fulvic acid will predominate. ठीक है? Is it clear? Stability of metal humic acid follows which order? बहुत सारा assertion reason करने के बाद finally a very straight question, and let's see how far you can do this. How fast you can do this? I'm sorry. Stability of metal humic acid follows which order? Tell me fast. This is a very easy question. We all know. Organic soil में कौन सा micronutrient का deficiency होता है? अभिजीत. Yes, yes, you are correct. Aishwarya, you are also correct. CuNiCO. Bonding strength with humic acid varies with the metal ions. Amongst the highly stable complexes where there is strong bonding between the metal and the humus, stability of metal humic acid complex follows the order CuNiCO Zn FeMn. है ना? Khushi, it is not C, it is A. Be very careful with Cu and Co. एक copper है, एक cobalt है. This is copper, this is nickel, this is cobalt, है ना? Cobalt और copper में इधर उधर नहीं होना चाहिए. Correct sequence for RS ratio. RS ratio क्या है? Can anyone tell me what is RS ratio? What is RS ratio और उसका correct sequence क्या है बताओ? What is RS ratio? RS ratio क्या है? Just write in one line, no problem. Just write the keywords and I will understand. I cannot see any answers here. That is a bit disheartening. Rhizosphere में P divided by total in soil, root zone. Yes, you are telling correct. Root zone, main aggregation. So it is like the population present in the rhizosphere to the population present in bulk soil. है ना? This bulk soil is denoted by S. This rhizosphere is denoted by R. That is called RS ratio. Rhizobium sulfur? No. It is not rhizobium sulfur. Rhizosphere is to bulk soil. That is called the RS ratio. Rhizosphere का जो soil है, rhizosphere is what? Rhizosphere is the soil that is very close to the root surface. Only 1 to 2 millimeter away from the root surface. So वहाँ पे root से बहुत सारा. Sir, which chapter in ICCS can I get more info about this? You can find in soil biology, RS ratio. Rhizosphere soil. तो rhizosphere का जो soil है उसमें due to the root exudates and the root secretions and the mucilages and all, वहाँ पे if that effect is positive, मतलब that effect is protagonistic, then वहाँ का जो microorganisms है वो बढ़ेगा. अगर RS ratio is greater than 1, RS ratio is greater than 1 का मतलब है rhizosphere soil में ज्यादा है than bulk soil. तो मतलब root से जो exudate निकल रहा है that is having some protagonistic effect, that is having some positive effect. If the RS ratio is less than 1, मतलब है रूट से जो निकल रहा है एक्सुडेट या जो केमिकल निकल रहा है दैट इज इनहिबिटरी टू द माइक्रोऑर्गेनिजम्स. इसका मतलब है इट हैज सम एंटागोनिस्टिक इफेक्ट. इसीलिए बल्क सॉइल में ज्यादा है देन इन द राइजोस्फीयर सॉइल. ठीक है, दैट इज कॉल्ड. सो द पॉपुलेशन प्रेजेंट इन राइजोस्फेरिक सॉइल डिवाइडेड बाय द पॉपुलेशन प्रेजेंट इन बल्क सॉइल, दैट इज कॉल्ड आरएस रेशियो. सो द करेक्ट आरएस रेशियो इज बैक्टीरिया, फंगी, प्रोटोजोआ. है ना? I knew you would have some problem, so I have given you this explanation. Bacteria exhibit the most pronounced response to the rhizosphere. Fungi also benefit significantly from root exudates. Protozoa are primarily the predators of bacteria. While their population increase in the rhizosphere in response to the massive bacterial boom, this secondary response results in an RS ratio that is generally lower than that of the primary consumers, bacteria and fungi. What are you? ICR PG SSC mean? ICR PG SSC mean? ICR PG soil science? क्या पूछ रहे हो भाई? So यहाँ पे I have given you the RS ratio range also, typical RS ratio range. If you can see, bacteria is 10 to 100 plus, it can go up to 100 plus as well. Fungi is 10 to 20, actinomycete is 5 to 10, and protozoa is 1 to 3, lowest response. All right, moving on. We have reached the 100th question. This is also from nitrogen chapter, soil fertility. What is the order of ammonia fixation among these three? Fine mica, vermiculite and smectite. This is a very easy one, nothing to think much about. Option D, BCA. Any other answers? I can see only one answer, but this is a very easy question. इसमें एक आंसर तो नहीं आना चाहिए था. Any other answers? We'll wait for another 2 seconds. BAC. So you are telling option B. Dark night has changed the option, seems. Huh? So the correct answer is option B. Of course, we all know this has been taken from old ICCS. Old ICCS का page का photo है. When an ammonium containing mineral is added to soil, most of ammonium gets adsorbed on the cation exchange sites, because we all know ammonium is a cation. तो soil का जो cation exchange sites है उसमें जाके absorb होगा. But a part of it is susceptible to strong adsorption, which is called ammonium fixation, which is one of the major ways of loss of nitrogen from agricultural soils. So strong adsorption in the interlayer spaces of some 2:1 layer silicate clay minerals. These clay minerals with the property are vermiculite, fine grained mica and smectite. इसमें बहुत सारा चीजें इसके अंदर है, like the reason for this, there are lots of reasons. So if you want to know, you can ask me. अभी तो time नहीं है, because it requires deep chemistry to understand. इसमें जो ammonium ion का जो radius है, that radius and how it is related to the radius of potassium ion, and how the cavity or the ditrigonal cavity of the mica minerals, that is very thermodynamically able to get the NH4 plus ion कैसे easily. That is why vermiculite के बाद fine grained mica आ रहा है and then smectite आ रहा है. So this has got huge chemistry. So either you can remember this, you can understand also, but since the exam is just knocking at the door, I would suggest do not waste time on that. But फिर भी किसी को अगर जानना है, you can put it in the comments. I will explain it. You can ask me in WhatsApp. I will explain it. All right. Abundance of microorganisms in arid and semi-arid soil. This is a very good question. This requires your understanding also. सिर्फ रट्टा मारने से ये आंसर नहीं होगा. Tell me, what would be the answer? Abundance of microorganisms in arid and semi-arid soil. Not in all soil, but arid and semi-arid soil. What would be the abundance? Anil Jat and Aishwarya is telling A. Shreyoshi is asking A. Obhijit is telling B. Dark Knight is asking A with an emoji. The answer is B. Because we all know this person, this gentleman thrives the best in low water conditions. So arid and semi-arid soil, जहाँ पे water supply is less, in dry soil, you go and please read old ICCS soil biology part, जहाँ पे bacteria, actinomycetes, fungi, algae, everything is there. Go and read that part. Abundance of microorganism in arid and semi-arid, जहाँ पे पानी नहीं है, lack of water, actinomycetes will thrive the best. All right. Bacteria requires more water. है ना? Then fungi, algae तो fine. Moving on. Arrange the following with increase in pF value. Lowest pF in the leftmost place. Increase in pF value. Increasing मतलब ascending. ये सब बहुत ध्यान रखना यार. This NTA and ICR, they are worst. They will ask this increase in pF value. they will ask this ascending order, फिर आंसर में दे देगा descending order, and you will not know also. So be very careful with what they are asking. Increasing order मांग रहा है, decreasing order मांग रहा है, क्या मांग रहा है, ascending, descending. Be very thorough with those. All right. You are telling C. So arrange the following with increase in pF value, lowest pF in leftmost place. Yes, viscous is lowest, then sticky, then plastic, then soft, then hard. This one is a very easy question because once you see the option hard अगर सबसे right में है तो definitely it is there. I have given this table from treatise. यहाँ पे देने का जरूरत नहीं था, but I have given it to highlight the importance of this table, and you should be very thorough with this table, and you should definitely remember these pF values. This table is extremely important. That's why I have given here. All right, moving on. The following are 4 soil types. Arrange these to decreasing, again another increasing decreasing question. Arrange these to decreasing thermal conductivity. Tell me. Sand, loam, clay, peat. Decreasing thermal conductivity में सजाओ जल्दी से. I can see option A. Answer is directly coming. Answer option A, option A, option A. Yes. The question setter is a very gentle person. He has not given any problems and directly gave you the A, B, and C and D. Here in treatise, you can directly see sandy, loamy, clay, peat, or organic soil. एक के बाद एक, it is given already in the order, so directly you can write. Moving on, here in this picture, I will like to draw your attention to this value also. ये value जो है, ये old ISSS में अलग लिखा है, new ISSS में अलग लिखा हुआ है. So you should remember both the values. Exam में दोनों में से एक आएगा. जो आएगा, do not get confused. वैल्यू देख के ही पता चलना चाहिए कि क्वेश्चन न्यू ISSS से हुआ है कि ओल्ड ISSS से, उसी हिसाब से यू शुड मार्क द आंसर, है ना. मूविंग ऑन. अरेंज द फॉलोइंग फीचर्स ऑफ वाटरलॉग्ड सॉइल इन द करेक्ट सीक्वेंस. दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ आई थिंक 2025 JRF, जितना मुझे याद है. दिस इज अ PYQ. दिस इज डेफिनेटली अ PYQ. कौन से ईयर में आया था? 25 की 24? 25 में आया था शायद. 25 वाज अ वेरी स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन. सो सजाइए. Arrange the following features of waterlogged soil in the correct sequence. Correct sequence का मतलब है time, है ना? This is the problem with NTA. They will not make it clear. They want to know time. Correct sequence of time के हिसाब से सजाइए इसको. 2025, रोहित, yes. Thank you for that. 2025 का ही question है ये. Reduced oxygen. You are telling option A. Option A. Shreyoshi, Aishwarya, Saurabh, Abhijit, Khushi, everyone is telling option A. A, C, B, D. Yes, you are definitely correct. It is option A. तो सबसे पहले आएगा reduced oxygen availability. I have seen this is a very good sign. You guys are very thorough with your previous year practice. So सबसे पहले होगा upon inundation, upon submergence, water displaces air within the soil pore space and reduce oxygen availability. This is step 1. Because the diffusion coefficient of oxygen in water is lower than in air, the limited supply is rapidly exhausted by the respiration of aerobic microbes. Submergence जब हुआ, जो भी aerobic microbes था, उन्होंने जो ऑक्सीजन बचा था उसको फिनिश कर दिया. So definitely this is number 1 step. उसके बाद it would be increased anaerobic microbial activity. Simple common sense, सारा ऑक्सीजन चला गया, तो ऑक्सीजन is depleted, the soil redox potential is going down, aerobic respiration ceases, and facultative and obligate anaerobic microorganisms begin to dominate this system, है ना? So this will be 2. Then आता है grayish coloration. The morphological manifestation of this anaerobic shift is called glaying. As anaerobic microbes utilize oxidized iron as an electron acceptor. जब ऑक्सीजन नहीं है तो anaerobic microbes के पास electron acceptor कौन है? That is these compounds like Fe3+. Fe3+ हो गया, Mn का जो oxidized form है Mn4+ हो गया, right? So they use those as electron acceptor and it is reduced to highly soluble ferrous iron. The reduction and subsequent leaching or mobilization of these iron coatings strip the soil of its characteristic red or brown color, leaving behind the underlying grayish, bluish, greenish matrix which is called glaying. ठीक है, तो 1, 2, 3 हो गया. सबसे लास्ट में जाके definitely it will be the ultimate impact of all this on the plant is a severe restriction of root function and elongation. This is a compounded effect. यानी कि ये सब होगा, वो होने के बाद रूट ग्रोथ में हैम्पर होगा डेफिनेटली इफ इट इज नॉट राइस. अब राइस क्रॉप है तो ये मत लिख देना कि भाई उसका भी रूट ग्रोथ हैम्पर हो गया, फिर तो मुश्किल हो जाएगी. फॉर एरोबिक क्रॉप्स, है ना, एरोबिक क्रॉप्स में देयर विल बी रेस्ट्रिक्टेड रूट ग्रोथ एज द लास्ट. सो दिस इज अ PYQ. इसका हम फंडा भी समझ लिए. If you have any problem, any doubt, you can ask me. I think इसमें doubt नहीं होना चाहिए. If you get this PPT, you will find this very useful. I have ऐसे सजाया है कि like it is one by one. Why it happens? What is the reason behind that? वो भी मैंने लिखा हुआ है. Moving on. Arrange the following in increasing amount of abundance of elements on Earth's crust. This is also a very easy question. इसमें कुछ नहीं है. I'm doing this question for the last 3 days maybe. हर जगह में ये क्वेश्चन उठकर आ जाता है, बट दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन, सो यू शुड बी वेरी थॉरो. यस, ए है क्या? इंक्रीजिंग अमाउंट बोला है भाई, इंक्रीजिंग अमाउंट. आई एम ऑलरेडी गेटिंग 2-3 टाइप्स ऑफ आंसर्स. भाई अच्छे से क्वेश्चन पढ़ो और एक आंसर बताओ. DCBA? How it would be DCBA? Shroshi? No man. इतना सिंपल तो है. दिस इज द डिक्रीजिंग कंटेंट. ये सबसे ज्यादा है, फिर उससे कम, उससे कम, उससे कम. तो इसको उल्टा लिखो ना. सबसे पहले आयरन, सो आयरन सी. उसके बाद है एल्यूमिनियम, एल्यूमिनियम डी. उसके बाद है सिलिकॉन, सिलिकॉन बी. उसके बाद है ऑक्सीजन. साफ साफ लिखा है इंक्रीजिंग अमाउंट, कम से ज्यादा की ओर, फ्रॉम लेस टू मोर. बी वेरी केयरफुल विद दिस वर्डिंग्स. ऐसा क्वेश्चन आएगा ही आएगा, एंड बी वेरी केयरफुल विद द वर्डिंग्स. Again, I have taken this table for you. This table is there in old ISSS, new ISSS, treatise, हर जगह में है. जहाँ से मन है पढ़ लेना. Remember these percentages also. Remember the element also. And इसमें से the last day I was telling the type of question that comes. Sometimes they might ask most abundant metal. Sometimes they might ask most abundant metalloid. Sometimes they might ask most abundant element. So most abundant अगर सिर्फ आया तो ऑक्सीजन. Most abundant metal आया तो एल्यूमिनियम. मोस्ट अबंडेंट मेटालॉइड आया तो Si4+. ठीक है. ऑक्सीजन इज गैस, सिलिकॉन इज मेटालॉइड, Al3+ इज मेटल. ये याद रहना चाहिए, है ना. अरेंज द फॉलोइंग पैरामीटर्स. दिस इज आल्सो अ PYQ. अब ये कौन सा ईयर है? आई थिंक रोहित माइट हेल्प. दिस इज आल्सो 2025 आई थिंक. दिस इज आल्सो अ PYQ. अरेंज द फॉलोइंग पैरामीटर्स रिलेटेड टू इरिगेशन वाटर क्वालिटी इन एग्रीकल्चर इन द करेक्ट सीक्वेंस. अब इसमें भी करेक्ट सीक्वेंस का मतलब इज अ बिट ट्रिकी, लाइक इट इज अ बिट कंफ्यूजिंग. करेक्ट सीक्वेंस पूछना क्या चाह रहा है? करेक्ट सीक्वेंस का मतलब यहाँ पे है सीक्वेंस ऑफ इंपॉर्टेंस, है ना. फॉलोइंग पैरामीटर्स रिलेटेड टू इरिगेशन वाटर इन करेक्ट सीक्वेंस ऑफ इंपॉर्टेंस, यानी कि इसमें से ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट कौन है, कम इंपॉर्टेंट कौन है. सो व्हाट वुड बी द आंसर? I can already see 2 types of answers, 24 and 25. Thanks Rohit, that was very helpful. I can see 3 types of answers. अरे यार, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है? सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट व्हाट वी फाइंड. सर ये क्वेश्चन समझ नहीं आता तो इसमें देयर इज नथिंग हार्ड इन दिस. इरिगेशन वाटर में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट प्रॉपर्टी व्हाट क्या है फॉर सॉइल? सॉइल के आर से सोचो, नथिंग एल्स. ये पानी तुमको पीना नहीं है. वी विल नॉट ड्रिंक दिस, वी विल नॉट डू एनीथिंग. व्हाट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम सॉइल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू? यस, यू आर करेक्ट. सॉइल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इसी विल कम फर्स्ट. तो अगर तुम देखोगे तो एनटीए यहाँ पे आंसर दे दिया, ठीक है. इसी विल कम फर्स्ट, इसी का एक ही आंसर है, तो दिस विल बी द आंसर. ऐश्वर्या, नो ऑक्सीजन. हाउ कैन ऑक्सीजन बी द? प्लांट्स टेक ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम एयर. व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट इरिगेशन वाटर, राइस को छोड़ के बाकी जितने भी सारे अपलैंड क्रॉप्स है, जितने भी एरोबिक क्रॉप्स है, उसका जो रूट्स है, दे टेक ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम एयर. पानी से वो ऑक्सीजन नहीं होता है. सर इसी एंड टीडीएस सैलिनिटी होता तो उसका ऑर्डर क्या होता? सबसे पहले हमेशा से इसी आएगा भाई. इरिगेशन वाटर में, इरिगेशन वाटर लेने के बाद ही वी चेक द इसी फर्स्ट. बिकॉज अगर सैलाइन वाटर से इरिगेशन हम कर रहे हैं, हाँ, अगर हम सैलाइन वाटर से इरिगेशन कर रहे हैं तो वो इरिगेशन का कोई मतलब नहीं है. उसमें व्हाटएवर गुड यू आर गेटिंग, उससे ज्यादा यू विल गेट मोर adverse and disadvantages for the plant. है ना. So EC is most important. उसके बाद if you see it will come turbidity, उसके बाद microbial contamination and last will be dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen से हमें क्या मतलब है, कितना भी dissolved oxygen हो we can use that. इसी salinity pH का order, इसी salinity pH का अगर order पूछा, yes that is a bit confusing. EC और salinity, how can they ask both? Salinity and EC are both the same, no? Salinity is denoted by EC only. EC और pH में अगर पूछा, that might be a tricky question. In that they might tell you the condition of the soil. If the soil is already alkaline and if you are giving alkaline water, at that time pH is more important. But majorly EC is the most important factor. All right. So remember this at any cost. Irrigation water का question है, तो we सबसे पहले we determine the EC of that, है ना. Arrange the following in decreasing order of specific heat. The question setter was very kind. He has given you the instruction also. Highest in left. बताओ जल्दी बताओ. This is extremely easy. अभी कुछ देर पहले हम स्पेसिफिक हीट लेकर चर्चा कर रहे थे, तो सबसे ज्यादा जिसका है वो तो सारे ऑप्शन में सबसे लेफ्ट में है. देखो अब उसके आगे बताओ. उसके आगे भी we have just discussed. A. नो सॉइल मिनरल और ऑर्गेनिक मैटर लेके अभी बात हुआ ना. सॉइल मिनरल एंड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर में स्पेसिफिक हीट किसका ज्यादा है? डी और बी में कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है. दैट्स ट्रू. डी और बी में कंफ्यूजन होना जायज है. स्फूर्ति इज टेलिंग बी, ऐश्वर्या इज टेलिंग बी, श्रेयोशी इज टेलिंग डी. Correct answer is C. It will be water, organic matter, then air, then soil minerals. A bit controversial question, I also agree, but you know the answer keys of NTR and ICR. So it would be water, then organic matter, then air, then soil minerals. All right. From now on until the last question, all will be match the following. ठीक है? Tell me the answer of this. Someone has asked, Aman has asked, sir, air की कितना होती है? Air का specific heat at constant pressure it is around 0.24. At constant volume it is around 0.71. इसको एक बार चेक कर लेना यार. I am also not sure. I cannot remember. सर ये PYQ है क्या? क्या PYQ है? This one? Yes. This is PYQ. I remember. कौन से में आया था? I don't remember exactly. Most probably 2023 हो सकता है. I don't remember. Yes. Tell me the answer. C. देखते हैं यहाँ पे. सबसे पहले सबसे इजी को मैच करते हैं. ठीक. Then law of restitution. Does anyone know? Liebig. Then y value was given by. Actually this is wrong. This should be L value. है ना? ये तो PYQs में तो गलतियां होता ही रहता है यार. What to do? So yes, the correct answer would be C. Perfect. A, C, D, B. है ना? Match the following. ये वाला this we have discussed in detail yesterday. This we have discussed in detail yesterday. Tell me. Hydraulic conductivity is by which law? Thermal conductivity, diffusion coefficient, thermal velocity. I cannot see any answers. A. You are telling A. 1C, 2A, 3B, 4D. Option A, 2 option A's are coming. Yes, definitely both of you are right. It is hydraulic conductivity C. Thermal conductivity Fourier's law. Yesterday we discussed in detail. Flux के साथ temperature gradient अगर proportional है तो the proportionality constant will be, this is called thermal conductivity. Then diffusion coefficient is Fick's law. Again same. Flux के साथ अगर concentration gradient है तो जो proportionality constant होता है that is called diffusion coefficient or thermal velocity यानी Brownian motion that comes in the assumption of Stokes law, है ना? This one is a very good question, I must agree. Moving on, match the following enzyme और nutrient को match कीजिए जल्दी जल्दी. Match the following में ज़्यादा time नहीं लेना है एकदम से. These are the easy parts of the question. Come on. Zinc के साथ, 1 के साथ, zinc के साथ तो ऑक्सीन सबको पता है ना? CO के साथ कोबालामिन वो भी सबको पता है. Then Fe के साथ, this one is a very easy question. Option A would be correct. This is very easy one. नहीं, option B नहीं है स्फूर्ति. Option A is correct. Go and read the mineral nutrition chapter. वहाँ से question है. This is very easy one. Co से cobalamin, definitely. Zinc is auxin. Zinc, tryptophan, auxin. We all know that it is a precursor of auxin. Then Fe is catalase and manganese, Mn. We know it is in photosystem 2 because it is a part of water splitting enzyme. तो water split नहीं होगा, oxygen नहीं आएगा अगर manganese नहीं रहा तो, है ना? Moving on. This is a very, very good question. This is from analysis and instrumentation. Do not ignore that chapter at any cost. That is very, very important. All right. You should be very thorough with your analysis chapter. And ऐसे questions आते रहते हैं. So tell me, H plus indicator, redox indicator, self indicator, metal iron indicator. This is also a PYQ. You can see with this. ऐसा mistake तो NTI कर सकता है. So tell me the answer. This question, if you ask me, this has been directly asked from soil analysis. एक book है. I don't know how many of you know. JRF level में उतना important नहीं है, but still soil analysis by ISSS. ISSS का जो new और old है, उसके साथ soil analysis नाम का भी एक किताब है. This question has been directly taken from there. So answer बताओ यार. Tell the answer. Aman Kumar is telling option A. Khushi is telling option A. Perfect. That's very impressive. सेल्फ इंडिकेटर है KMNO4. सेल्फ इंडिकेटर का मतलब है उसके खुद के अंदर कलर चेंजिंग प्रॉपर्टीज है. सो डिपेंडिंग ऑन द ऑक्सीडेशन रिडक्शन it can change its color and it can indicate. So it is a self indicator. Metal iron indicator mureoxide we all know because it is used in mureoxide and eriochrome black tea. These are used in calcium, magnesium, all those determinations, iron determination. So metal iron is mureoxide. Then H plus indicator phenolphthalein, ये तो हम class 11 से कर रहे हैं, है ना? This is the acid base indicator phenolphthalein and redox indicator is orthophenolphthalein, है ना? Very nice, very nice. Moving on. Again, the one I was highlighting from yesterday from time immemorial. This is from the micronutrients where you have to remember that chart where the element and कौन सा mineral में कौन है वो हमको जानना है. So स्मिथसोनाइट हम आज ही पढ़ के आए हैं, तो स्मिथसोनाइट जिंक आई विल मेक इट फॉर यू. और बाकी बताओ, बाकी टेल. स्मिथसोनाइट के साथ जिंक मैं कर दिया तो 2A. सो इन दोनों को हटाओ. अब टेल मी द आंसर. वुल्फेनाइट इज molybdenum, definitely. Yes, very good. It is option C. Wulfenite is molybdenum, then smithsonite is zinc, then rhodonite is manganese and colemanite is B. बार बार बोल रहा हूँ, this table is extremely important. Be very thorough with that table. ओके, दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम EVS. ये क्वेश्चन अगर कर लोगे तो इट विल हेल्प यू इन योर UGC नेट ऑल्सो. UGC नेट में बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चन आते हैं. दे विल जस्ट आस्क द ईयर एंड दिस. सो टेल मी, UGC का अगर बात हुआ तो हम UGC एनवायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट और 1986 को हम कर देते हैं. चलो, बाकी यू टेल मी. A. I don't think it is A. वाटर आया था 81. No, sorry. The correct answer is option 4. It is not option A. So air pollution आया था 81, है ना? Forest आया था 80, environment 86, water 74. So water सबसे पहले आया था. Water was the first one to get the attention of the policymakers. उसके बाद आया था forest 80, उसके बाद आया था air. Air pollution control तो 81, we all know this, right? This is very common question. You should know this. This comes very regularly. This is also important. And 86 तो Environment Protection Act है, वो तो हमें पता ही है ना? Specific gravity and fertilizer. This type of questions no one likes. I also don't like at all. क्योंकि ऐसा values याद रखना बहुत मुश्किल है. लेकिन फिर भी चलो, दिया है तो कर ही लेते हैं. Any answers? Any answers? I cannot see any answers. इस क्वेश्चन में ज्यादा टाइम बर्बाद नहीं करना है, बिकॉज इसमें समझाना तो कुछ है नहीं. Just have to remember the values. So option B is the correct answer. Yes, Saman, you are perfectly correct. So urea का है 1.30, not exactly 1.30. If you check the books, 1.3 के आसपास होता है. So then ammonium chloride is 1.7, muriate of potash is 1.98 and DAP is 1.60. This is not a good question, but क्या करें, आ जाए तो करना पड़ेगा. Moving on. हाँ, but this is a very good question. So इसके में ये क्वेश्चन कहाँ मिलेगा? कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. It is in the fertilizers chapter जो है उसमें है. And also if you read the fertilizers by Dr. D.R. Biswas, एक किताब है, उसमें भी है. Otherwise you can search in Google also. Specific gravity अलग अलग fertilizer का ढूंढ के उसका list बना लो. You will get. हाँ, so I think you can read this question, or else I will read it for you. हाँ, okay, you can read this question. You are telling option C. Presence of K ion in the interlayer space of crystal structure in clay. Then B, Mg ions are adsorbed between crystal units of clay mineral, vermiculite. Very nice. 2:1 expanding type is smectite. D is 2, so D is 2 एक ही है. So this is a very easy question. इसमें ज़्यादा कुछ दिमाग नहीं लगाना है. A3, B is 1, C is 4 and D is 2, है ना? Everyone is correct in this. This question is also from Soil Genesis and Soil Orders, written by Dr. J.L. Sehgal. वहाँ से directly है, तो बताइए. Clay rich presence of smectite type of clay minerals किसमें है? Frigid and pergelic soil temperature regime क्या है? Immature soil. This one is, I'm sorry for the typing mistake. This should be jelly soil, है ना? It is not glaze soil, it's jelly soil. GELI. Glaze देख के confuse मत हो जाना. क्या आंसर्स आ रहे हैं? क्या आंसर्स आ रहा है? ऑप्शन ए, ऑप्शन ए, ऑप्शन ए. क्ले रिच प्रेजेंस, डेफिनेटली क्ले रिच बोल रहा है तो वाटिसॉल होगा. फ्रिजिड एंड पार्जेलिक बोल रहा है तो जेलिसॉल होगा, है ना? इमेच्योर सॉइल मतलब इंसेप्टिसॉल, ऑक्रिक एपिपेडॉन मतलब ऑप्शन है ना? वेरी गुड. मूविंग ऑन, वी आर ऑन द लास्ट. So removal of this I have been talking since the first day. वो जो टेबल है ओल्ड ISSS का जो वेदरिंग एंड सॉइल फॉर्मेशन चैप्टर का लास्ट पेज में जो टेबल है, दिस क्वेश्चन इज फ्रॉम दैट टेबल. So if you read that table thoroughly, I told you yesterday, at least 8 to 12 marks you can get directly from that table. All right, so be very thorough with that. Removal of iron and aluminium oxides, humus, etc. in a humid climate. तो remove हो रहा है iron and aluminium, मतलब podzolization. तो A2 तो यार एक ही है यहाँ पे. So Aishwarya, you are wrong. Abhijit, you are wrong. Reduction of iron in the waterlogged horizon, definitely glaciation. Intermixing of the horizon, definitely pedoturbation. Mobilization and translocation of Fe and Al oxide and other, it would be alluviation. ये तो गलत नहीं होना चाहिए अभिजीत and Aishwarya, ये बिल्कुल गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. This is like the basic of soil science. This is the soil forming processes. You should be very thorough and very clear with this. Please read very thoroughly. यहाँ से क्वेश्चन आएगा और क्वेश्चंस आएगा ही. Please be very thorough. Weathering and soil formation chapter of old ICCS, उसका last page का जो table है, please read that. Non-protein organic part of the enzyme. We are on our last part. Only 2 questions remaining. तो बताइए. Non-protein organic part of the enzyme is called cofactor, coenzyme, apoenzyme, isoenzyme. Cofactor बोल रहा है ऐश्वर्या and अनिल जाट. It is not cofactor. Cofactor it is not. नहीं, no cofactor नहीं है. Again, I am repeatedly telling, again and again I am telling, be very thorough with biomolecules. You can read NCERT, you can read ICAR का online course, you can read it from Google, you can read it from anywhere you want. Please read biomolecules, please read enzymes. अभी exam बहुत पास में आ गया है, ये सब चीजों को neglect मत करना. The correct answer is option B, coenzyme. And only for you, आप लोगों के सुविधा के लिए I have listed all. किसको क्या बोलता है? Hollow enzyme, hollow मतलब ये whole जहां पे आता है, this is the complete active enzyme, it is called hollow enzyme. फिर आता है apoenzyme. ये जो apoenzyme है, this apoenzyme is the protein portion of the enzyme on its own, which is inactive without its partner. It is the protein portion. यहाँ पे लिखा है non protein है ना? So apoenzyme तो नहीं है. उसके बाद है कोफैक्टर. कोफैक्टर is the general term for the non-protein helper molecule. Cofactor can be split into 2 types. Cofactor is made of metal ion plus coenzyme, है ना? ये दोनों मिला के cofactor होता है. So cofactor is the metal ion plus coenzyme. So cofactor can be split into 2 types. Coenzymes are the organic molecules which are non-protein that loosely bind to the enzyme to help carry out the reaction. And metal ions are the inorganic elements, like हम जो पढ़े हैं cofactor में हम metal पढ़ते हैं ना, the cobalt, zinc, iron, these we read as cofactors. So cofactors is mainly the metal ions. ठीक है? If an organic coenzyme or an inorganic metal ion is very tightly or covalently bound to the enzyme on a permanent basis, it is specifically referred to as a prosthetic group. तो ये जो मैंने यहाँ पे लिस्ट कर दिया है आप लोगों के लिए, इसमें you can get at least 4-5 क्वेश्चन यहाँ से आने का संभावना है, if at all they are touching the enzyme part, है ना? तो सर बेसिक केमिस्ट्री के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स बता दो. अरे बेसिक केमिस्ट्री तो बहुत ही ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है यार. एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर, पीरियोडिक टेबल, these two you should be very thorough with. ठीक है? उसके बाद ये एंजाइम्स तो बेसिक केमिस्ट्री में नहीं आता है. दिस कम्स अंडर बायोमोलिकुल्स. बायोमोलिकुल से बहुत क्वेश्चन आता है. इसमें भी एक और क्वेश्चन है 120 में, जो कि प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन है 2022 का. आई ऑलवेज टेल 2022 का जो PYQ है उसमें 12 क्वेश्चंस आया था फ्रॉम बायोमोलिकुल्स. ठीक है? So you never know what ICR will do, what NTR will do. बेसिक केमिस्ट्री का इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स यार सारा है. एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर है, पीरियोडिक टेबल है, और जो केमिकल बॉन्डिंग है वो भी है, लेकिन उसमें उतना डीप नहीं. आई वुड सजेस्ट NCERT पढ़ो, या फिर ऑनलाइन. अभी NCERT पढ़ने का टाइम नहीं है तो ऑनलाइन में कहीं पे भी गूगल से पढ़ो. ICR का कोर्सेस है, वहां से पढ़ सकते हो. स्टेम नोडुलेटिंग प्लांट, बहुत टाइम बाद एक एकदम स्ट्रेट एंड इजी क्वेश्चन आया है. So tell me. Yes, I know everyone will give correct answer of this. This has been taken from the old ICCS only. Old ICCS का जो soil biology portion है वहां से directly उठाया गया है. यहाँ पे you can see few plants like Sesbania rostrata form such nodules on the stem as well. So this is a straight question, and we will end today's session with another biomolecule, because biomolecule से question तो आता ही रहता है. This question I specifically remember, it is from 2022 physical science JRF. ये question आया था. Which of the following is an example of epimar? हाँ, PYQs है, आप लोगों का तो गलत नहीं होगा. That's a very good sign. अब एपीमार क्या है वो भी मैं आप लोगों के लिए लेके आया हूँ. This is the structure of glucose. This is the structure of galactose. है ना? Epimers are a specific type of stereoisomer which are also called diastereoisomer that contain more than one chiral center but differ in the spatial configuration at exactly one specific chiral carbon atom. अब आप लोग बोलोगे कि chiral carbon क्या है? Chiral carbon क्या है? Can anyone tell? नहीं भी बताओ तो कोई बात नहीं. More than one chiral center but differ in spatial configuration at exactly one specific chiral center. कोई नहीं, मैं बता देता हूं. कार्बन है कार्बन. If that carbon is bonded, कार्बन का we know valency is 4. 4 साइड में अगर 4 different molecule है, that is called a carbon center. ठीक है? हाँ, very good श्रेयोशी, that's a very good answer. तो यहाँ पे like see, this carbon is not a chiral carbon because यहाँ पे 2 बॉन्ड ऑक्सीजन के साथ है, तो ये दोनों नहीं है. अब इसको देखते हैं. इसका एक साइड में OH है, एक साइड में H है, एक साइड में ये पार्ट है, एक साइड में ये पार्ट है. सो दिस इज अ chiral carbon. दिस इज आल्सो अ chiral carbon. ये भी chiral है, ये भी chiral है, ये भी. सो मल्टीपल chiral carbon we have already found it here. जिस C के चार तरफ अलग फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स नहीं कह सकते, अलग ग्रुप्स. नॉट एवरीथिंग इज फंक्शनल ग्रुप, है ना? सो मल्टीपल कायरल सेंटर का हमारे पास जो कंडीशन है वो फुलफिल हो गया. बट एपीमर कब होता है? जब वो एग्जैक्टली वन कायरल सेंटर में डिफर करता है. तो यहाँ पे एग्जैक्टली वन कायरल सेंटर में डिफर कहां पे कर रहा है? कैन एनीवन टेल? उस हिसाब से एपीमर्स का नाम होता है. ठीक है ना? यू कैन सी दिस इज सेम, दिस इज सेम, दिस इज सेम, दिस इज सेम. ये जो कायरल सेंटर है, दिस इज डिफरेंट. सो एग्जैक्टली वन कायरल सेंटर में ये दो डिफर कर रहा है. और ग्लूकोज का नामकरण स्टार्ट होता है फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट. दिस इज नंबर 1, नंबर 2, नंबर 3, नंबर 4. नंबर 1, नंबर 2, नंबर 3, नंबर 4. सो दीज टू कंपाउंड्स आर कॉल्ड C4 एपीमर्स. C4 एपीमर्स का मतलब है जो फोर्थ कार्बन सेंटर है, जो फोर्थ कार्बन है, उसमें देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. तो C4 एपीमर इज दिस टू. यहाँ पे someone has written, very good, I was seeing glucose galactose and glucose mannose. Yes, यहाँ पे see how cleverly they have given the option. They have given galactose, mannose and glucose. It is very easy to get confused. ठीक है? This is very easy to get confused. But यहाँ पे ये तीनों में तीनों एपीमर नहीं है. ठीक है? Glucose and galactose is epimar. Glucose and galactose is epimar. And glucose and mannose is epimar. But mannose and galactose is not epimar. So this option will not be there. तो अब ये तो यार see, I also understand this is very hard to remember because कितना मोनोसैकेराइड्स का स्ट्रक्चर याद रखोगे. But we are helpless because this kind of questions come. This is a PYQ only, I am telling. So sometimes JRF can be very hard also. So what to do? That is the end of our today's session. I think all of you enjoyed. These are our courses that you can see. Aman is asking, sir, volumetric and gravimetric analysis का important topics कहाँ से cover करें? Analysis का important topics तो यार old ISSS का जो chapter है, that is I think more than enough for JRF. That analysis of soil, plant and fertilizers, that chapter. And also new ISSS में जो है, that is also very good, written by Dr. B.S. Dwivedi. उसका exact नाम याद नहीं है. I think soil fertility evaluation के बाद वाला जो chapter है, that chapter also you can read very thoroughly. तो इसमें से जो important चीजें आता है वो है what are the molarities and normalities of all the compounds. Then what is the indicator used. Physical science booster book कैसा रहेगी? Physical science booster book तो बहुत अच्छा है. Are you talking about soil in soul का physical science booster? Soil in soul का जो physical science booster है वो बोल रहे हो क्या? Yes, that is very good. Actually, that is very good. वो अगर तुम्हारे पास है तो that is very nice. I would also suggest all of you can buy that. That is from Soil in Soul group in Telegram. That is our IRA senior only जिन्होंने बनाया था. That is a very very good book for JRF preparation. So almost everyone has read it. So you also can read. बाकी एनालिसिस के लिए ISSS बोथ ISSS आर इनफ. अभी सॉइल एनालिसिस पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है, उतना डीप जाने का जरूरत नहीं है. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट ओल्ड ISSS का जो एनालिसिस है एंड न्यू ISSS का जो फर्टिलिटी का जो चैप्टर है जहाँ पे all those things are written, phosphorus analysis, nitrogen analysis, carbon analysis, फिर calcium, magnesium, all those you should be very thorough. You should know what is the indicator, what is the change of color, what are the compounds involved, the extractants, the indicators और extractants का what is the concentration, कितना molar, कितना normal, all those है ना. So all right guys, if you have liked today's session, please drop a like and please drop a comment. Again, I would again say I am very new in this field and I have been doing this online classes for the last 2 days only. So if there has been any problem, if there was anything fault from my side, I apologize and please bear with me. I hope you enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, you can write and we'll end today's session. Double S mass spectroscopy ये नहीं आता मुझे, ये नहीं आता तो यार आना तो पड़ेगा, पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा. You can see in YouTube some videos. अभी time इतना कम है तो YouTube videos देख सकते हो. I might suggest that. Otherwise इसका principles तो यार समझना है because you never know when NTA will ask what. तो ठीक है. All right. I wish you all the best and we'll meet next. Okay. So the next classes, the next discussion will be done by Purvita and Rohit. I will be returning after some time with another paper. So till then, goodbye.